I wanted to come on here real quickly and tell you guys about a NASCAR points format that I've developed, and I want to introduce it to you guys because I think that this system I developed has potential to possibly combine the best aspects from all the current systems that are being talked about right now, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on it and see what you guys think. So real quickly, for those that don't know, last night Kyle Larson was crowned the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Congratulations to him and his team. But there's been a lot of backlash and a lot of outcry from the fan base because of what happened to Denny Hamlin with the late race caution. I guess you could kind of say he was kind of robbed, or at least very unfortunate with the late race caution. And on top of that, Connor Zilic in the Xfinity Series, he had one of the greatest Xfinity seasons of all time. He won 10 races, but was unable to win the championship after a third place finish. So there's been a lot of outcry against this current system we have, and there's been a lot of discussion in the NASCAR world about changing to a different format. However, the three different formats that are being discussed right now, it would be a 3-3-4 format, or going back to the 10 race chase format, or doing a full season's points. And all these systems have their pros and cons, but I want to introduce you guys to the system that I created that I feel it kind of combines the best aspects of those three races. Before I do so, I'm going to quickly introduce it to you guys, and then I'm going to break down exactly why I think it's the best and like the pros and cons of it. But real quickly, if you guys can clip what I'm about to say and send it to any NASCAR influencers you guys may know, Eric Estepp, Dannybtalks, the Iceberg, people with massive audiences and actual influence in NASCAR, because I have like 15 subscribers. I'm not a NASCAR YouTuber, unfortunately. I'm not really trying to even be one. I just want to talk to you guys about a format I created that I think has potential, and I would love someone with influence or someone within the NASCAR world to hear about it, because I think it has potential to possibly be the best of both worlds and make everyone happy. So here's what it is. So my point system would be a full race 36 point system with no points resets, 0 points resets. It's a full 30 race point system. However, the last 10 races of the season will be double points, and additionally, the last race of the season, the championship race, which will be at Homestead next year, the last race will be worth triple points, or even, I haven't done the math on it yet, it could be worth quadruple points, or even 5 times the points. You'd have to do the math and run the numbers to see which one's fair, and like I don't know how much you add, but there's somewhere, whether it's triple the points, quadruple the points, or 5 times the points, somewhere in there, the last race would be worth the most points, because it's the Tour Championship, so it'd be worth the most points of the season. So let me break down why I think this is the best, and kind of maybe get your guys' thoughts and opinions. But here's my thinking process. So first of all, I want to say I have nothing but respect for NASCAR. With the current format that they have, I personally don't like it, but I respect them for trying to be innovative. I respect them for trying to think outside the box. Like, it took some creativity, and they tried their best with this format, and no disrespect to them. Like, Steve Phelps and Steve O'Connell, like, they've done a lot of things that to the sport that I disagree with, but I also respect them for trying to do their best, because what their jobs, their positions, like, it's not easy what they're doing. They're running a massive sports organization that's on the decline, and they're trying their best to keep it entertaining for the masses, and they're trying their best to grow the audience. So nothing but respect to them, but this current format, I'm not a big fan of it. And so here's why. I think we can all agree that the current format we have is, it doesn't reward the most deserving driver. However, it is definitely the most entertaining format, okay? So it's the most entertaining, but doesn't reward the best, the most fair, deserving driver. At least not every time. Sometimes it does. However, if we were to shift to the complete opposite direction and do, I'm going underneath the tunnel right now. If we were to shift to the 36 race full season format, that would, hold on a second. Let me get through this tunnel. All right, I think we're good. Hold up. All right, so with the current format we have, it's the most entertaining but doesn't reward the most deserving driver. Now, if we were to shift to the 36 race full season points format, it will reward the most deserving driver. However, it will not be the most entertaining. So somewhere there is the middle ground, and that's kind of where the 10-race chase somewhat makes sense. However, there's been many instances with the 10-race chase system where it was kind of a boring finish. I think 2012, Brad Keselowski had like a massive cushion going into the final race, if I recall correctly. And there's been a couple instances in the 10-race chase system where the season finale was really not that close to a points call. Obviously, 2011 was a different story. That was a really close battle between Carl Everts and Tony Stewart. And also, I remember 2010 was my favorite point system, was my favorite finale with Kevin Harvick, Jimmie Johnson, and Denny Hamlin all going into the race with a chance to win the championship. And so I think the goal of the point system for NASCAR should be to reward the most deserving driver, however, in the most entertaining way possible. Like, we don't want a 2003 point scenario where Matt Kenseth just dominates and runs off and the final race doesn't mean anything. However, we also don't want races like yesterday where like the championship 4, where like one of the most deserving drivers and the most dominant of the season doesn't win the championship just because of one bad race. For example, Kyle Busch said it best. The current format we have, someone can win the 35 out of 36 of the races and finish second on the final race and not win the championship. And that's bad. We don't want that. And so with my format, you're not resetting the points, which rewards drivers who've have performed well in the regular season. And on top of that, by making the points worth double and even making the finale race worth triple or quadruple the points, I know it's weird and you are in a way like tweaking things and you're kind of like manipulating the system. But no matter what, even if, let's say, a driver just dominates the season and has like a massive cushion, let's say like a freaking 118 point lead over the whole field because someone's just dominating the season, let's just say. If they go into the season finale with a 118 point lead, but it's quadruple points, now suddenly, instead of having the race clinched and having the championship clinched, they now have to finish 15th place because if the second place driver wins and gets quadruple the points, because it's the championship, and we can really hype it up like it's a championship race, so it's got to be worth the most points. It's the season finale, like most points season finale, like kind of how golf has major championships that are like more prestigious than the other golf tournaments. Like this, we could really hype these up. And the last 10 races that are worth double points can still be considered playoff races. So NBC and the broadcasting booth can still hype it up for the commercials and for the ratings, because they say they like the playoffs because of the ratings, and they can sell it to more. They can sell more commercials because like the companies like the excitement and the ratings. And so we can still hype up the last 10 races as playoff races because it's worth double the points. And then on top of that, it also gives something like, if you remember the 10 race chase format, like people like Jimmie Johnson would step up and come in clutch, and the cream would rise to the top for the last 10 races of the season because everyone would be on their A game. And so this also will still incentivize teams to step up this year, kind of like how Chase Briscoe was pretty mild in this season. But I remember when the playoffs started this season, Briscoe his team really stepped it up and they made it to the championship 4. And that was a big storyline. And so we can still have those kinds of storylines heading into the playoffs and heading into the season finale. And so I'm rambling right now. I feel like I've said everything that I wanted to say, but I would just give this points format like some thoughts. Like, I don't know. I think it has some weaknesses and some flaws to it. It's not perfect, but in my opinion, I feel like it does a good job combining the best of each system. It keeps it entertaining. It prohibits someone from clinching the race. It prohibits someone from clinching the points races ahead, and it will keep the season finale still entertaining, but it also will still reward, for the most part, the most deserving driver, because in my points format, you can still win the 35 races, and if you lose the 36th race, as long as you have a big enough points cushion, you should be fine. But it'll make it more entertaining. So that's basically it. And then I guess, I don't know, the one last thought I'd add is that if we were to use this points format, I personally would not want there to be stage points. I know I sound like a boomer right now, but I don't like the stage points. I think it's too much computing and too much thinking during the race, too much math, and it kind of bugs me a lot. And I hate the stage cautions too. I know I'm a boomer, or I sound like a boomer, but that would be my preference, because my goal is to make an entertaining format, points format, that's still simple enough for new fans to understand. I have friends that I try to get to watch NASCAR, and it's so hard to explain the point system and the different resets and the different this and the different stage points and the playoff points and whatnot. They don't understand it, and my format gets rid of the stage points, and it gets rid of the constant resets. I feel like I can easily explain to my friends, like, yes, the last 10 races are double points because they're playoff races, and the season finale is the most important race of them all. And just like how the Masters has like the biggest, paycheck or whatnot in golf, or the US Open has the biggest winner's purse, the season finale at Homestead or wherever it may be in the future will have the biggest points payout. And so even if your favorite driver has a 80-point cushion, which will be rare, it probably be less than that, because of the extra points, like, anyone can really win it as long as they perform well. So anyways, that's all I got. Maybe it's too complicated, maybe it's not much better than the others, but it's something that I came up with and no one else is talking about, and I've been rambling for like probably 10 minutes now. But I don't know if you can some way clip this and send it to it's a bit of a reach, but you can send this, if you know anyone who works in NASCAR who might be interested, send this video their way, or even, like, I don't know, tag Eric Estepp or the YouTubers that I watch, Dannybtalks, the Iceberg. If they can just see this, I don't know, I feel like there's some potential with this format. Maybe it's cool, maybe it's not, but regardless, I hope to see NASCAR change the format. It'd be cool to see what happened last night not happen again. Maybe I'm biased because I was rooting for Denny Hamlin, but anyways, that's all I got. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. Goodbye.